Warning, some viewers may find this content disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
My creatures of the night, yes. Welcome back to the Fox Den for this episode of Midnight Lycanthropy here on Star Fox Radio. We are heading down to an area very close to the infamous Land Between the Lakes to help out a friend by the name of Maverick figure out what is happening down in Kentucky and Tennessee. Yeah, I am very thirsty, so I will be right back. Delicious. Now that that has been taken care of, and I do feel ready to figure out where the Dogman is hiding in the darkness. Without further ado, let's get to this.
This was about 2014, I believe. My cousin and I were sitting at my house that I had just moved into at the time, out on South 61, going towards Tennessee from Kentucky. And it had just got dark, and he said something about, do you think you could run me home? And I was like, yeah, cuz, that's cool, no problem. So we head out the front door. I jump off the porch, skip the steps, hit the gravel, and start walking to my car. And then, like, I didn't hear him jump off the porch behind me, because there would have been some gravel noises, because I heard me when I did it, you know, and I didn't hear that from him, and something told me. But when I turned around and I looked up there on that porch at him and tried to figure out why, I immediately knew I did not want to look at what he was looking at. Like, absolutely 100%, mind, body, and soul did not want to look at it. And I just had to give myself a pep talk. You could do this. Look over there, and there's these two eyes in this tree. And I've been over 6 foot since my 8th grade summer. But these are about 1.5 foot above our head, and this looks straight at us. Then put its head more, like, looks more up to the sky, and then we seen its head going from side to side. And then it comes back to looking dead at us. And then it goes from being about 1.5 foot above my head, and I'm 6 foot, like, I'm 6'4" right now, but I'd say about 6'2" or something then. It went from being that high up, and those eyes were that far apart, to being squatted down to about, maybe about 3.5, 4 foot up off the ground. And when I hit my clicker, my little unlocker button, my turn signal flashed. That turn signal flash lit it up for a split second. And that's when I saw what I saw, I guess. And it kind of makes me feel like I'm crazy, because I could say it, but it just don't make no sense. It makes sense, but it don't make sense. Because we was told that that's not here, and that's like, it's not a real thing. It's sci-fi. But my cousin and I seen the same thing. That triggered me just like diving into the rabbit hole. I've had 5 separate encounters outside of that. 3 of those have had other people with me that could attest to it. And it's just there. It's all over these sacred areas where I feel like that the native population was at. It's always somewhere where there's arrowheads, and you can feel it. You can feel the presence of that. Like, there's a difference if you're out in the woods and you hear a deer. You're like, oh, that's a deer, or that's a squirrel. But there's something different that's like when it lets you know those hairs are on the back of your neck that are standing up, and you're like, oh, something's looking at me. What is that? And those types of feelings are all around that place, all around this place. And I think it's a lot to do with the history that's trying to be covered up here. I'm not opposed to exposing it or being a whistleblower, because I feel like everything was done well. I've explained a little bit of it, how they acquired the land with these treaties and whatnot, but the settlers didn't keep their end of it, and it was just an ugly mess. There was another one. This was more recent. My dad and I were out rock hunting next to the Cumberland River in a very well-developed area. Wound up splitting up because he couldn't cross the creek and go up the other side of the bank, because he's on the other side of 50. I think Dad's sitting at like 57 right now. When he's like, "Oh, buddy," it's a little nickname he calls me. And so I went on, started looking around at things, walked through this field. This field's got a sinkhole in the middle of it. And I'm talking like not a regular sinkhole. This sinkhole, you could fit like 2 houses in the top part of it. They have whole trees that are in this sinkhole. Check the edge of it. Different little pieces of pottery and things just chilling around there. They're broken, and they're like little pieces of flint where you could tell that they've been napped on and stuff. I was not being disrespectful in the area. No, I was not. I was just looking. I did not dig. I did not do anything. I walked through this open field, which was the biggest field. Then there was a fenced off portion of the field. No farm animals, no nothing. And I was like, man, I did not even know this was back here. Get through that, and as soon as I get on the other side of that 5-strand barbed wire fence, that field where there was no animals, whew. So I'm looking around because I'm like, man, something's got me feeling weird. What is this? And I see something from right to left. And it's going down from the top of the field down towards the river, but it's running the fence line. And like, I have 2 coy dogs, Moose and Marcia. They're Siberian Husky, Pit Bull, and Coyote. They're like some kind of other dogs, but they're wild and they're pretty big. This made my 2 dogs look sickly. And the top part of like where their butt and their tail is, where it curls up over the back, was up over the top part of that 5-strand barbed wire fence. Like, that's all I seen was like that tail curved up, dog-like movement, like it looked like just so much bigger than like a Saint Bernard or a Great Pyrenees or any other kind of like livestock guardian dog. And the color was off because it was gray, but like a black and like a gray. This is the one that is on my YouTube channel, Wondering Optimistically. This other one, we was out in the creek and we kept hearing stuff, and me and Coda was like, oh, bro, what is that? And my dogs was going off too, and that's kind of out of character a little bit for Moose and Marcia. But as soon as we left, maybe 2 minutes on the gravel road, headed out, like back towards civilization, back towards town, because I ain't have no service or nothing out there. I was like, bro, what the is that? Do you see that? And it was walking. It was paralleling us on the hillside. And as soon as my car stopped and I put it in reverse, this froze. Like, just froze. And was just standing there. And I was like, bro, it's right there. See that tree? There's 2 trees that are broken in half. And that one, the third one that's right there, that's not a tree. And it's just wild in Kentucky. I could send these all day.
Thank you for everyone who once again stopped by the Fox Den tonight for another episode of Midnight Lycanthropy here on Star Fox Radio. If you do enjoy my content, please like, subscribe, and share it. Feed the algorithm. Yes, feed just like I need to go feed. Until next time. stay safe out there and be good people. And I will see you very soon.